Hi everybody, Martyn at Flicking Feathers again today, and I'm tying a lime Trude. Right, it's a nice wee attractor dry fly. Well worth having in your box just for a prospecting option. It's very good for hanging a nymph behind as well. Nice and buoyant. As always, I'll put a materials list in the description, along with a link to the Patreon page for anyone that wants to support the channel, get access to the members only content, and be eligible for the giveaways. You can also subscribe, hit the bell button so you get notified of the videos, and share the video with anybody that you think would be interested. That's all appreciated. So I've got my hook and my vise. This is a Temco 100 SPBL, but you can use whatever your preferred standard dry fly hook is and tie these from say 10 to about an 18, probably fine. This is a 16, and I've run on some chartreuse thread, 8/0, just because I want to keep the body colour relatively true. Now, the tail, unusually for a dry fly, golden pheasant tippet, and I've picked a fibre, picked a feather from my neck that's sized so that the black bars, for the first black bar to the tip, is like a shank length. I like the way that looks on the hook, so I'm just going to cut say 5 or half a dozen free from the feather, and now without letting go, pull the main feather away, and then just offer these in, catch them on the black bar, and that gets your tail in. It's the right length and the tips are still aligned, right? If you pull these away from the feather, you will almost always knock the tips out of alignment. So much better to pull the main feather away. I'm going to trim the waist and tidy up. And I had pre-waxed the thread just a few centimetres, and I should be off for the wax thread now. And I'm going to get my dubbing for the body, and I'm just using a blend of SLF and ice dub to get me a nice sort of bright green, lime green chartreuse. But you can use any dubbing that you prefer. It's totally fine. You might want to use super fine or rabbit or something if you want a more opaque body, but I quite like this. So I'm just dubbing this on, building a slight sort of tapered body. Doesn't need to be super skinny. Just trim away any excess there. Now you'll see there the body's, I've still about half the shank length, right? I've still got half the shank up here for the hackle and wing. Now if you want to make it a bit more durable, you can crisscross that dubbing with your thread, and that will make it a lot tougher. I'm going to take this thread almost up to the eye and then switch over to some black 8/0. Get it cut off, and trim away. I'm going to come right back so that by the time I put my wing in, I'm going to have about a third of the shank for hackle. Wing is calf body here. Now it will depend sort of on how good the calf body hair is that you can get. Lengthwise, when you go up to a bigger fly, you might need to change to say calf tail or something else, but for the smaller sizes, body hair will always work. So just cut a wee pinch for the hide, and I'm just going to knock out any broken or short fibres. Right, you always trim a wee bit more than I need. I'm going to stack it. So into the small stacker, and it stacks very easily. See my wee bunch, and once it's stacked, same thing. I'll take away any, I'll hold it by the butts, and I'll just knock away any fibres that are too short. That looks no bad. So the wing length is a shank length, so that when you tie it in, it comes sort of halfway back into the tail. Just transfer that, lock it in, and don't let go until you've put a few turns on, because the calf body hair is a solid hair. Trimming that away at a slight angle. Before I get some wax in my thread, and I'll just come to the front and tie up into it, making sure everything's nice and secure. Plenty of wax there. Simply because when I tie in this hackle on this sloping base, if the thread's waxed, this base is grippy, and the hackle doesn't try to slip away from you. So I'm just going to take my hackle, bare some stem, and I'm going to tie it in, leaving a small portion of bare hackle, just so that it sits right when I make my first turn. I'll trim away my waist, and again tidy up, and I'm making that nice bed of quite waxy thread. And I'm going to tie the hackle, right, the shiny side's facing the front. I'm going to tie these in nice and tight, close turns, one in front of the other. And you can see, even though I'm going on that slope, it's not fighting me in any way. It's just not trying to move forward. Get to the front, come across the thread, take a couple of turns, and I'll just fold back the stem, tie back onto it, making my head shape, and a whip finish. I'm just using the whip finish to sort of form the head as well. Come in, trim away, just pull it off, snap away the thread, cut it away. And now I know some folk don't put head cement, but I always like a wee bit of varnish. Let it run into the eye. Make sure the head's coated right. If you put the brush on the eye rather than trying to brush onto the head, it means you don't put the varnish on the hackle. But there you go, that's the lime Trude. Very simple wee fly, 4 stages only. Nice wee attractor to hang your nibs behind and all that. Well worth tying a few up and putting them in your box. So I hope that was useful. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up below and subscribe to the channel. Tight lines guys, bye.